this is Jessica with Chapter Chicks, and I am here to do a book review over Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare. Clockwork Prince was released December 6th of 2011 by Margaret K. McElderry. It is the second book in the Infernal Devices. The first book is Clockwork Angel. And very recently, the third and final book, as far as we know so far, has been released in the Infernal Devices series, and that is called Clockwork Princess. This book has 438 pages, and it is also a prequel series to The Mortal Instruments by Cassandra Clare, which is recently being turned into a movie called City of Bones. So I'm really looking forward to that, but this series is something that is just as good as the first one. When I first heard that Cassandra Clare was doing a prequel series to the Mortal Instruments series, which is a staple in any YA book collection, it's so good. It's definitely up there with books like The Hunger Games and all things like that. I was really wary about it because I didn't think that she was going to be able to do as good of a job with a whole other series in the same world, and it really worried me. But Cassandra Clare has definitely taken this book, or this series, in a whole new direction, but it has the same qualities that the first one possessed as well. So like I said in my last review, I do not plan on doing my book reviews the way that I have been doing them. I'm just going to tell you guys whether you should read it or not, and then I'm going to go into a spoiler version of the review because it just hasn't been as fun for me to just say the same thing, like characters are good, blah blah blah. So I just want to make videos a little bit more fun for me to make, and maybe a little bit more fun for you to watch. So I read Clockwork Prince, and it is definitely a read, guys. It is just so good. Cassandra Clare can really entrap you in any world, and the characters are absolutely amazing. And I will say that in Clockwork Angel, I was definitely Team Gem, but after reading Clockwork Prince, my heart is so torn between the two. I have had such a hard time deciding whether or not I like Will or Gem better. It is just, even just thinking about it really it just tears my heart up because they're such great characters. And I actually tweeted about how I want to just curl up next to Cassandra Clare's brain and live in there because this Shadowhunter world is insanely amazing. And she really, really knows what girls are looking for in a guy because she has them wrapped in all of her characters. If you haven't picked up the series yet, either the Mortal Instruments or the Cassandra Clare series, I definitely recommend doing so immediately. Now I'm going to go into a more spoiler-ish version of the review, so if you haven't read it and don't want to be spoiled, please do not continue watching because I will be talking about some things that happen at the end. I immediately want to talk about what happens at the very end of this book. Okay, so Will, the entire time, he can't tell Tessa how much he loves her because apparently he has this curse on him where this demon, when he was a child, he cursed him and said that anyone who loved him would die, and then his sister died, so he thought it was true. And then at the end of the book, you find out that that's not the case. Everyone can really love him, which you really knew anyways, because everybody loves him anyways, even though he is mean and puts on this show of being such a hard butt. But he goes up to Tessa, and oh my god, he's just sitting there, and he thinks that she feels the same way, and she does so desperately. But she thinks he's talking about Jem proposing to her, and oh my god, my heart was breaking for Will when he was telling Tessa about how much he loved her and how just please forgive him for the way he's been acting and he didn't mean to do it, he had to. And Tessa's just like, I am engaged to Jem, like back off boyfriend. And he's like, no, we can tell Jem, we can tell him that it's not real, like you love me instead and blah blah blah, he'll understand he's Jem. And she's like, no, I can't do it. And oh my god, Tessa must be one strong woman to turn down Will because he is one smoking, sounding man. And then there's Jem, poor Jem, who just loves Tessa with all of his heart. And Tessa's heart is with Will, and it's half with Jem, and I have never been more confused by a love triangle than I have been with this series because I was straight up Team Jem. I was not all about Will's bad boyness in the first book. But after this, my heart breaks for them both. But don't worry, Will. You can have me. It's okay. What else even happened in this book? I also just want to talk about Magnus. Oh my gosh. Who loves Magnus here? Me. In the first series, the Mortal Instruments series, when I first read them, I pictured Magnus as a fat, bald man with a glittery shirt on, a glittery gold shirt on. I don't know why. I don't know why I pictured him fat. I didn't even picture him Asian. And now that I have an actual image of what Magnus is supposed to be like, he is just so amazing, because it was really weird seeing a fat, bald dude do all these really cool things. It really didn't make the connection of how cool it was. But when I figured out that Magnus did not look like that and he's Asian and really hot, it made it so much better to watch him do all of these cool things. And what's really cool about this prequel series is it really does connect to the Mortal Instruments series that's still going on. So you get so many tidbits of information out of this that you can connect to the story later. What's her name? Cecilia? Oh my goodness, what's her name? Whatever the vampire that's around for a long time that Magnus is dating in this series, I think it's like Cecilia, but it's not Cecilia. Camille! She is in this a lot, and she's mentioned between Alec and Magnus in the future series. So I thought that was really cool that you can make that connection, and when Magnus is talking about the past and Will, you really know what he's talking about, and I think that was brilliant of Cassie to make this companion series. I loved what happened with Jessamine. To me, Jessamine was, I don't know if I'm saying that name right either, but to me Jessamine was a carbon copy of Isabel from Mortal Instruments, and I really didn't like her character just because I'm just now starting to like Isabel's character in City of Lost Souls. So I really didn't like Jessamine very much, and I like that Cassandra Clare pulled her in an entirely different direction than she took Isabel. Jessamine is very much so going to the dark side, and I love that she did that. I love that this darkness is kind of picking away at the bond that all of these people have, because in real life you wouldn't be able to have every single person in your alliance or in your group or whatever you want to call it not be tempted by the darkness. And I love that Jessamine really encaptured that and went to this dark side. So, and oh my god, and then she was married to Tessa's brother, Nate. It was so heartbreaking, because all Jessamine ever wanted was for a mundane to love her and be married and have a normal life, and she didn't get that because she chose Nate as her mundane. And oh my gosh, the way he died in the end, leaving Tessa with those last words of "you don't know what all I've done." It's just so good, and I cannot wait to devour Clockwork Princess soon. I just finished City of Lost Souls, and Clockwork Princess is on my to be read. If you guys watched our to be read video, you know, and I just cannot wait to read the rest of the series, and I'm going to be so sad that it's over, but I'm going to be so glad to know who Tessa actually ends up with. So I am Jessica with Chapter Chicks. This is my review over Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare, the second book in the Infernal Devices, and this chapter was for you. In Cleanville, we manufacture our trees. Each one is made in factories and uses 96 batteries.